And I'm back. And what I'm doing here today is I'm taking a look at this cracked shower pan. It's in this little RV. It's one of these tiny bathrooms that has a shower and a toilet all in one little closet, I guess you could call it. And this is how I got it. See, someone's got epoxy here, and the drain, it's all, the floor's buckled. I don't know what happened. It almost looks like it was pushed up. Maybe the piping got, bumped on a rock or something as they drove over something. But this leaks underneath, and I don't know if I can do any better than this, but what I've got is I've got one of these larger floor drains. I'm going to get this old drain out of here. That's all, it's not in great shape. And underneath it, it was leaking, and I looked up under there, and I'll show you, it was just duct taped. They didn't even have the pipe hooked to it. They just had it duct taped, and then the duct tape got wet and fell off. And I'm going to take this nut off here. This pipe, this top pipe should come out. Okay. That out of there. Yeah, okay. Really? Like I needed that all over the light. Yeah. I just jigsawed around that drain to get it out of there. And what I got to do now is I have to enlarge the hole so this will fit into it just a little bit bigger. Alright, this is just a piece of aluminum I cut, and I roughed up the back. It's not the same pattern on the back. I just wanted to get the surface corrosion or whatever off of it. And I'm going to do the same in there. I'm going to take a grinder to the floor of that shower and rough up that fiberglass, and then I'm going to Sikaflex that down, and then I'm going to put my drain in it. And and I'll have to Sikaflex around it, but you'll see here. This will be better than those radiating cracks that come out of the other drain that are there. Even the large drain that I've got doesn't cover. It's not big enough to cover the cracks that are already in the plastic. So this will cover that, and this gives us, it's smooth enough to have bare feet on, and yet it's got a little bit of traction, so it won't be too slippery. Got some brake cleaner here. We get any of the residual grease and stuff off of there. Okay, so that hole is not the center. This is it here now. I've remeasured it. So I'm not drilling it off center, but I'm drilling a starter. Let's try and see how that looks. Let's see how that looks. It's pretty close. All right. Yeah, pretty close. I'm gonna see if I got a better blade. That's not the right, that's an aggressive wood blade. I'm gonna see if I got a metal blade. Okay, I found a metal blade. Maybe that'll help. Don't jump around so much. Okay. Now I just took this and set it on the floor. And it looks like if I was to come anywhere, it would be to elongate the hole this way. But I think they're pretty good. We'll get it. I'll go around there. Okay. Now, I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna take the rubber out of there because we're gonna probably just Sikaflex this into the plate at some point here. Let's see. I'm actually wondering if we might want to put it on the other side. If we could do that. Just now that I've gone this far and cut the hole, I'm wondering if, let's see if I can get that sticker off of there. If that goes in from the top, see the water level has to get up over that to get into the drain. So usually on like a shower floor, there's a recess around here that this sits into. But since we're going to Sikaflex everything down, I just wonder if this might work. Sikaflex to the other side because it's going to be up against the floor pan anyway, like that. That might work, you know, if I'd smooth off that edge a bit so there's nothing sharp there. And then the water that comes on here is going to run into the drain. That's a better arrangement if I could get it to stay there. The other thing too is I could put Sikaflex, you know, soften this edge up, and then I could put a couple of screws here, you know, right through into this, round-headed screws that, you know, don't interfere with you stepping on them. You really don't want to have anything underfoot in a shower, but I mean that would hold it in place, especially if it's got Sikaflex on it, and then the drain is underneath the plate. I like that a lot better. Okay, the Sikaflex down there, and I got it on the back of here, and I've got 2 screws holding this into the cover like that, and I'm ready to smack it down. So here it goes. There it is. So here goes nothing. Okay. All right. There it is. Now I'm going to squish it down and straighten it, and I'm going to put the screws in the corners. Okay, so I put the Sikaflex all around. I screwed down the 4 corners, and then I walked on it gently around the perimeter. Stood in there for about probably 4 or 5 minutes, and now I've set the bricks in there, and I'm going to leave that overnight. And tomorrow we'll look at the bottom side and see what we have to do. And hopefully that'll be a fix. Okay, so it's the next morning, and those bricks are still sitting in there on the plate, and it's time to hook up the pipes underneath. Okay, so here's the original piece that threads into the P-trap like that. So this, what they call the trap arm length, is going to have changed a bit because we moved the drain. Okay, so we're going to have to cut this at the right length at some point. And I've got a new piece here. Now, the inside of that drain is 2-inch. Okay, so there's a 2-inch to 1.5 inch bushing. So we're going to dry fit everything first, but that's going to go up inside the bottom of the floor drain. And then this is 1.5 inch ABS pipe that's going to go inside of here. So we'll have those glued together, and then I'm going to figure out how far down it's going to come. It's not this far, it's only maybe, you know, a couple of inches down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a new 90 on it, like that. And then I will join this one in where it needs to go, like that. Okay, so there's a bit of measuring and figuring out under there to do, and I don't know if I can get you under there completely to do all this, but that's the general arrangement, what we're going to end up having done. And I'll just show you briefly up underneath. It's really hard to see up in there, but so basically what we're heading for is the shower drain is here and the P-trap is there, so we're going to join the shower drain to the P-trap with that arrangement. So just bear with me and we'll get that done. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bushing, the 2 to 1.5 inch bushing, up inside the shower drain. So we got some yellow ABS solvent cement, and I've already stuck it up there to see that it's the right size. So we'll just put some of that goop around here like that. And for anybody that hasn't used this stuff, it hardens very quickly. So it's okay like that for a second, but you want to get it in place fairly quickly. Okay, see right here? Here's the bushing. Here's the bottom of it. All right, and that's up inside the shower drain. All right, and so the next thing I got to do is determine the length of this down pipe. I'm just going to gently hook up the line for the P-trap. Look, it's leaking out there too. The gray water tank has still got water in it, so. Okay, we're just going to get this on here so we can get a rough measurement. Okay, a little tighter maybe. We want to make sure we get a fairly accurate length on that down, that piece coming down. Okay, so now you can see over there, it's not going to be too far. I'm not sure if that piece is going to line up. I think we might still have to shorten this. This is what they call the trap arm. Okay, so you have the P-trap here, and then there's an arm that leads out from it. Actually, is that on the, I think the trap arm is actually on the discharge side. And it doesn't look like they've got that right either, because you're supposed to have, I think the trap arm length is on the discharge side of the P-trap, and it's supposed to be at least twice the diameter of the pipe that you're using. So if it's 1.5-inch pipe, you're supposed to have at least 3 inches of trap arm length. And the reason for that is you don't want it to siphon out. That's got something to do with it siphoning the trap out. If it's too short, look at this one here, they just went 90 and 90. So there's really no trap arm length there, maybe 1.5 inches. Okay, doesn't matter, it seemed like it worked, I guess, at one point. All right, well, let's see what the length of that's going to be. I'll get that a little tighter. Okay, so I'm going to get a measurement in there. And you got to remember that the pipes have got to go up inside the fittings, so it's going to be about 3/4 of the depth of each of those fittings. So from there to, I'll just mark it here. Let me see if that one was there, and this one was here. I think I got it. Okay. My pencil mark right here. Working on the ground. Try and cut that straight if I can. This is plumbing in the real world. This is not plumbing in a nice, neat shop with a bench and a vise. This is out here on the ground in the real world. Okay, and I just usually take the burrs off that a bit. It doesn't end up down and blocking up your pipe. Now, I'm going to dry fit that and see. Okay, so I just pushed that up in there, and it's about 1/2 inch too long for what I'm looking for. So let's see if we can get a 1/2 inch off of that. There we go. Okay, so here's our little piece that goes up into the floor drain. And we're going to put it into a 90. We got that length figured out. I'll glue that together. I'll glue these two together. And then this is going to have to be cut off so that it's 3/4 inch shorter. So we're going to look at that. It's going to be about there. So we'll cut off the pipe about here so it glues in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, that's how it's going to be. Now we just have to figure out the orientation between here and there. Like, I think it's almost you know, in line where this comes down, but we'll have to double check that. I'm going to fit it together, you know, somewhat dry without jamming them in too hard because I won't get them apart. And then I'll just mark it across here with a pencil line, you know, at the right orientation. And then I can glue it together. Okay, so I got that pushed up there. And I've been able to move this down here at the threads, moving it back and forth to where it looks like it's going to fit. Let me see here. Okay, that'll go like that. Let's just try a dry fit on it before we got any glue on this. Okay. That water's coming out of the gray water tank over there. Now, if we get that snug, or fairly snug, and we got that pushed up. Okay. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my pencil here, and you see how there's graduation marks on the side of this fitting. So I'm just going to draw a line in line with that graduation mark there. Let me see if we get the center of that pencil mark. Okay, that's the orientation for this one. Okay. The other one doesn't matter. It can it's going to go straight up. Okay, so here's the pipe we're going to install. So we have a glued fitting to make here and here. Okay, and then we're going to put glue on here as we put it in, and up it goes. And something else I hadn't mentioned earlier, but when I cut the length of this, I made sure that once it's glued and installed, that there's a little bit of slope to this line here. You don't want it to have it down. You know, you want to have basically so the water runs downhill here. So there will be that in this application. All right, let's get this glued up. So see now with those marks how easy it is. I know I want to get right to that mark. Okay, like this. And then here's that mark right there. See that? Lined up. Now this one can just go in. Doesn't have to be any orientation. Little glue there. Little glue there. Give it a spin as it goes in. And I often wipe off any excess if there's some, like that. Good to wear gloves. This stuff is difficult to get off your fingers. Okay, that's going to set up there in a couple of seconds. And now we just get ready to put that in. Okay, so before I put glue up on the bottom flange there, this is glued now, but I didn't put glue on the top yet. I put it in for one more dry fit just to make sure I got it right. And that's going to be fine there. There's a bit of downward slope on that. That's going to be fine. Okay. Another thing I bring to you on this channel is lots of tips, right? Okay, now there's a tip, an important tip when you buy this, any of this type of stuff, you know, this yellow ABS cement, or if it's PVC cement or whatever. You should always buy 2 cans. And the reason for that is you're going to want one to knock over under the house and spill, and you're going to need the second can then to glue all your pipes together. Because any plumber will tell you, you know, they'll get in under somewhere and, you know, over it goes. Okay. Okay. Get that snug. And I've snugged up the drain on that P-trap. Right. That looks good. I think I'm going to put another hanger in here. There's just one hanger on this whole assembly right there. I don't like that. I'm going to put one more up into here to the floor. Okay, so you can see what I've done here. I've reinforced it by putting a piece of this multi-purpose strapping. I wrapped it around here. I screwed it tight to the floor on both sides. There isn't actually much flex in that right now, actually. I walked on it, and it's because the Sikaflex has, you know, adhered to the whole surface of the pan of the shower. So, you know, it's not really weak around the drain at all. But this just adds a little bit of extra support. It's wrapped tight around here, and it's screwed tight to the floor. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the insulation back in this cavity and button down this plastic bottom cover as best I can. There's a piece missing altogether, but we'll tape it over. Okay, there it is. It's nice and secure. The insulation's back in there. The strap's holding the pipe nice and tight. And I got it taped over. I guess what I could do if I really wanted to make it pretty down here is I could paint over that duct tape. But for now, that's a fix. And that's how that's done. Or that's how I did it anyway. I think that'll be fine. Anyway, make some comments down below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, now's the perfect time to do so. I really appreciate you all coming by and having a look. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That really helps things. And make a comment, subscribe, and we'll see you again here very soon on Everyday Projects. Bye for now.